Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and well, this is probably going to be the last video I shoot using my Switch Lite because I have just upgraded, and I upgraded to eventually and Switch OLED. I wasn't sure which of the bigger switches to go for, but I got an absolute bargain on this, so this is my OLED. I've done reviews of both the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED before. I've probably even done a comparison video, but for someone that's been using a Switch Lite for the last 18 months, I really do like the form factor of it. Let's just go over the sort of basics. It's smaller. It's got a 5.5-inch screen, and I do love the whole sort of solid unibody design. The fact that it's a portable only console, it means it's just for one person, and I quite like that. I've bought the Switch Lite when I had lots of consoles. It was in rotation. It wasn't my main console, but over the last sort of 5-6 months, it has been. And I thought, let's go with the full Switch experience and upgrade. And I didn't want to go for a Switch 2 because it doesn't really interest me. And I went for the OLED, and it's a lovely console. That sounds really sort of down already, but the things that I don't like about either the OLED or the main console, one is the lack of physical D button. I really do like that on the Switch Lite, although you can buy Joy-Cons with a D-pad on. And less so on the OLED is the Joy-Con wiggle. I mean, you do get it. And it just, the whole console just seems a little less sturdy than a console that's all in one. But saying that, never had any issues. My sons have never had any issues with the regular Switch or the OLED Switch. It's a little creaky at times, but that's what you get when you've got something that detaches, I suppose. But the OLED is absolutely fantastic. Much bigger screen. Screen sizes really don't bother me. I've gone from a 2-inch Game Boy to a 3-inch DS to a 4-inch DSi XL to a 5-inch PSP and a Vita. The Switch Lite's got a 5.5-inch screen, which was huge for me. I skipped the regular Switch with its 6.2-inch screen to the OLED, which I think is a 7-inch screen, and it is lovely. OLED, yeah, a little bit sort of overused in the tech world. I've had a PS Vita which had an OLED screen, and then I went to the Vita Slim, which didn't, and I didn't really notice any difference. You do get lovely viewing angles with an OLED screen, but it was more the size of the screen without bulking out the extra any more on the body that sort of pulled me towards the OLED. So 7-inch screen versus the 5.5-inch screen, but the screen on the Lite never really bothered me, whether the size or the technology, it just being an LCD screen. But yeah, I have upgraded from a Switch Lite, which has served me well. I've had it about 18 months. It really sort of got me into Switch gaming and, well, shall I say it, more modern gaming, which I like. But I'm now going to take that experience even more with an OLED. I have actually just got this today, so I'm now pulling in pretty much everything that I've owned, and then I can play things like Call of Juarez Gunslinger, Thomas Was Alone, some real big hitters here, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein 2, Burnout Paradise, all of the Quakes, all of the Dooms, the Crisis Trilogy, Turok, which I bought recently, all in a lovely, large 7-inch screen. Obviously, having a light meant no possibility of connecting it to TV. It's not a reason why I bought this, although it does give the possibility of sticking it in a dock, connecting it to TV. I like the fact that it's got a dock because then you can just put it on there, it charges it. Number of times that I've forgotten to charge my light because you have to faff around looking for a cable, whereas if it's on a dock, it's going to be charged, ready for you to take off. You also do have the tabletop mode. You can take the Joy-Cons off and you have like a mini table version. So yeah, I've just upgraded to a Switch OLED. Absolutely fantastic. I love the design, I love the colour. Never been a big fan of the red and blue sort of colours of the Switch, but I will very, very much so miss my Switch Lite. A lovely console, never had any issues with it, no drift, no problem. Love the screen, love the design, battery life was superb for what I needed it for, and you can see there is quite a bit of a difference. I mean, it's a whole Joy-Cons difference in size, and height-wise, it is a little bit taller, probably about half an inch or so. Thickness, well, you can't really tell because you've got your triggers that make it stick out. But everything else is exactly the same, obviously apart from the lack of D-pad. So there you go. I have finally upgraded my Switch Lite. And I know when I first bought my Switch Lite, everyone was like, oh, you're going to miss the fact that it's got non-removable Joy-Cons, you can't hook it to a TV, blah, blah, blah. You'll get annoyed with the screen size. The Switch Lite was exactly what I wanted. It's a console that doesn't have any faff. You can just pop it in a backpack, in a bag, everything's there, all contained. My gaming sort of needs have changed. The Switch is now my main console, probably soon to be my only console, so it was worth an upgrade. So there you go, I have just upgraded from my Switch Lite, which you can see has now been reset, ready to go, to a Nintendo Switch OLED. Absolutely fantastic. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.